The European Commission is gathering feedback from EU citizens, businesses, regulators and other interested parties to establish a regulatory framework for crypto assets and markets on a European level. The public consultation, which started in December, will continue until March 19, 2020, with the finalized proposal expected in the third quarter. Also read, Swiss financial watchdog proposes $client identification threshold for crypto transactions. The legislative process for crypto assets in progressed legislative process in the European Union can be long and complicated. Initiatives, roadmaps, assessments, and discussions must take into account various and diverse interests. The common market needs a common regulatory framework with investors, companies, customers and regulators speaking the same language, which takes time as stakeholders have already learned. The European Commission has the right of legislative initiative in the EU. The process of planning and preparing a new law or policy involves putting out a roadmap that describes the problem, sets out objectives, outlines policy options, and defines the scope of the proposed legal framework. A more detailed inception impact assessment replaces the roadmap when the potential impact of the legislation is significant. Citizens, businesses, civil society and public authorities are invited to express opinions about the proposal before it is finalized. The lack of regulatory clarity and legal certainty in the crypto space is what prompted the European Commission's Directorate General for Financial Stability, Financial Services and Capital Markets Union, FISMA, to launch an initiative for the adoption of a European regulatory framework for crypto assets and related financial services. Initiating and implementing the EU policy in the area of banking and finance is the JS main responsibility. European Commission issues Inception Impact Assessment of Crypto Regulation. FISMA published an Inception Impact Assessment in December to inform citizens and interested parties about the Commission's plans that will result in a legislative proposal. The Directorate is seeking their feedback on the initiative as well as their views on its understanding of the problem. The assessment will also serve as an opportunity to identify crypto assets and related services that are not covered by US FIT anti-money laundering directive to provide the basis for future amendments to AML, taking into account the latest recommendations of the Financial Action Task Force, FAP. The move comes after the Commission adopted a FinTech Action Plan in March 2018 mandating the European Securities and Market Authorities (ESMA) and the European Banking Authority (EBA) to assess the suitability of the current EU legislation to crypto assets and initial coin offerings (ICOs). On their advice received in January 2019, the EC is now working in two directions: assessing the applicability of the existing framework for those digital coins that qualify as financial instruments and establishing if a new regulatory approach is needed for the rest. A letter by EC President Ursula von der Leyen to FISMA Commissioner and Vice President Valdis Dombrovskis describes the task in a sentence: ensure a common approach with member states on cryptocurrencies to ensure we understand how to make the most of the opportunities they create and address the new risks they be. You can read full post on CryptoFins News, link available in text below.